It's the Rush Utah High School Sports Every Day Set Hut. This segment is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier basketball facility in all of southern Utah. For tournaments, camp schedules, leadership trainings, go to netsonfire.org. All right, welcome back. It's the Rush. We are thrilled to have the champs in the house, the back-to-back-to-back tennis champs in 4A, the Desert Hills Thunder. We got Coach Christian Thurgood, Connor Reese, and Will Gardner. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's start with you, Coach. Your third championship in 3 years at the helm. Take us through what made this year and this journey maybe different than the previous two.
Yeah, I would say, the previous two, we kind of felt like we had a young team. And this year was extra special because we had four seniors on the varsity team. And knowing that this was their last year, they'd been a part of the last two championships. We really, wanted to push for that third before they moved on. And so it was really exciting for them to be able to finish their high school career having won one more state championship.
And I know how competitive it was once again this year in Region 9. The region tournament before state was super close, and then state was super close. What was that like from your perspective, especially with Crimson Cliffs, one of your rivals, how close all of these matches were?
Yeah, the Crimson's great. I mean, we've basically pushed each other over the last few years and made each other better. And I will say, region looked a little different. We had some injuries, they had some injuries, and so the lineup was a little different than the way that it ended up at state. But by the time we both got to state, we were both healthy, kind of both peaking at the right time. And so it just made it for an extra close battle at the state tournament, especially, how both of our schools were the only ones that got all five positions into that second day.
Very good. Let's, Connor, I'm going to go to you first. Just tell me about your journey this season from the beginning with the super high expectations, back-to-back state champions that you were a part of, and then still having the oomph and the work ethic to stay focused to get over the top again for the third time and go out as a champion. What was that journey like for you this year?
It was pretty great. We started off this year with high expectations coming from back-to-back state championships. So we just wanted to make the best of it and do our best. So we kind of started off hot, doing pretty good, and then we kind of went through a little rough patch around region. We ended up losing to Crimson at region, but then we came back at state and won in the third set, kind of proving that we could be that we put in the work and the effort to be state champs.
What is the team dynamic like for you guys, this team in tennis, where it can be an individual sport, it can be a double sport, but you're kind of playing independent of one another, but you just brought up the team aspect and how important it was to get to work together and push each other. How would you describe that dynamic for this group, Connor?
Coaches kind of put together a great team. We're just all really tight and close, and we just all love to push each other. And tennis is a cool sport because it's personal, where you're trying to do your best, but when you're playing for high school, you just want to make sure that everybody else is also doing great. So it's good because we just like to push each other, make each other better. Because we're such a strong team, some of our best matches come from playing with each other.
Yeah,
it was just great to just play with each other and just do our best and make each other better.
awesome. That's Connor Reese, everybody. Connor, I'm going to have you tell me about your teammate, Will Gardner. What do you admire about his game? What's he been like to be a teammate with over the last few years and win all these matches with?
Yeah, Will's amazing. Will's definitely the most ambitious person on our team. He just wants to get everything. He works the hardest. He puts in probably the most hours out of everybody on the team. And he just is super competitive and always does what he needs to do to win. He's just a great teammate.
Sponsored by Grass Creek Construction, bringing visions to life for over 20 years. This interview is brought to you by Appliance Wholesalers Plus. Trust the boys that sell GE and Samsung at AWP. They've been supporting Region 9 athletes for over 25 years at AWP. Okay, excellent. And then Will, before I ask you some questions, why don't you tell me a little bit about Connor, what he's like as a teammate and what he brought to the team this year and the last couple of years?
I love Connor. He's one of the most positive people you'll ever meet. He has a good attitude no matter what. He works hard, he puts in the work, and he knows what it takes to win. And he's just a great role model to everybody else on the team. He's been that way since the beginning of his high school career, and I've loved competing with him and getting to know him.
Awesome. That is great stuff from the two captains here that we've got on the show. And then, Will, I was going to ask you about something you maybe overcame this year or a pivotal match this season that you really felt like, okay, we really put it all together for this one. We're ready to go make another run. Was there a moment this season? It seems like every year in the journey, there's something like that. Was that the case this year for D Hills?
I definitely think that when we went up to the Ashton tournament and there was a tough match against Lone Peaks first doubles, they were, really strong, great team, great people too. And they definitely pushed us and we ended up losing that match, but it definitely gave us the motivation to keep on going and work harder and, push it because we wanted that state championship and we knew that it was going to take everything we had if we wanted to get there.
Awesome. What's better about doubles? Like when you're talking to people about tennis and you're a doubles guy, how is doubles, and you're selling it to somebody like me who doesn't know a lot about tennis, why is doubles more fun than singles?
It's definitely more fun because you're not alone out there. In singles, sometimes you can get in your own head, you can, you know, make some stupid comments, but when you're out there and you're competing with somebody else, it definitely kind of brings back that team aspect that is kind of out of the singles portion of the game. And it brings just a lot more camaraderie with your partner and it makes the wins better and the losses easier to endure.
And remind me, you and Connor weren't partners this year, right? Who were you partners with mostly, Will?
I was partners mostly with Matt White.
Okay, awesome. Give me a little bit about Matt.
I mean, Matt's a great guy. He's a competitor. I've known him for years and years. He's been one of my biggest rivals. And so to share the court with him, it's been an honor and just a privilege to play with him.
Okay, and then Connor, I didn't ask you about your partner in doubles.
My partner was Grant McCullough. He's a sophomore in school. He's super fun. He likes to play a little looser and have a lot of fun when he plays. So it's super fun to play with him. He keeps the energy up, and it's like we play good.
Awesome. Love it. Okay, that's great, guys. And then coach, these guys are your captains. I had them talk about each other. Just if you'll tell us a little bit about what it was like coaching these two and what they've brought to the legacy of Desert Hills tennis in their career here.
Yeah, these both of these individuals are fantastic young men. They're great tennis players, but they're better young men. They are respectful. They've always been leaders. I mean, over the past 3 years, even when they were younger, they were leaders of our team. And when it came time to choose a captain for this year, these two stood out with their attitude, their work ethic, and the way that others kind of wanted to be around them, just naturally. And they brought a lot of energy to practice. They brought a lot of energy to matches. And one thing that's been so awesome that these two, Connor and Will have helped create in the culture of this team is just they both mentioned the word camaraderie, and they had that camaraderie not only with each other and not only with the seniors, but with everybody on the team, even all the way down to freshmen. And I've been part of teams where that's not necessarily the case, but on this team, they made it a point to make sure everybody was included and everybody had a good experience and everyone had a good time. So, I'm really going to miss these two individuals. I'm going to miss all the seniors that are leaving us next year. We had a great group of kids, and but I'm super excited for the adventures and things that they're going to go on to after high school.
Awesome. And then I was going to ask you, Coach, when you started a few years ago, I'm sure you had a vision for what you wanted to bring to Desert Hills tennis. After 3 years, kind of revisiting that, obviously you can't do much better than winning 3 state championships. But what are you most proud of with what in your short time at D Hills that you've built, with guys like Connor and Will here?
Yeah, I would say that, most proud of just the team atmosphere that we've been able to build over the last few years. That's been the most important. My goal and our coaching staff's goal has always been to help create a good environment, fun environment where the boys can have an overall positive experience. And, if we do that, then we'll work hard and hopefully win. And I really feel like, we've been able to do that last 3 years, but only because, our players, these seniors, they've bought into that and really helped make that a reality. And I'll be honest, the first year, 3 years ago when we won the first time, nobody really expected it. And then as we've gone on, it's kind of become more of an expectation. And these guys have just handled that expectation so well. It's not easy to play with that kind of monkey on your back or that pressure. And these guys just continue to handle that pressure, handle that expectation in just an amazing way. And I've just been super impressed with that.
That's probably a question to end on, but I'm going to ask another one. For a kid who's sixth, seventh grade, who's considering competing in tennis at the high school level or at a place like Desert Hills, who's tops, what is required to be to get? Send us your highlights, Andy at therushutah.com or anywhere on social media at The Rush Utah. It's The Rush Utah, high school sports every day.